Hi and welcome back. Now in this video we're going to take input to output. Basically I'm going to start by zeroing the board. Zeroing the board means just setting all the controls off or to their factory defaults. Well, the first thing we're going to do then is lower the faders. So we'll just get all the faders down, and up here on the top we have the gain knobs. I call them gain, but they're labeled mic line. This basically matches the level of the microphone or whatever you have connected to the input of the board. We're going to cover the input channels in more detail in a couple of videos, but for right now, let's just turn all of these off. This is traditionally how you zero a board. Just turn all of the controls to off. I've got the same thing on the aux outs. We're not going to cover them in this video, but they are turned all off. Now when you get to this center section here, all these knobs, you could try to turn these down, but you'll see that they just spin indefinitely because they're encoders. They have different functions, but there's no way to really turn them down. Well, there is. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. We're going to do what's called zero the board, and that means load a preset that basically takes it back to the factory default setting. So we'll just hit Scene, and Scene has a couple of pages. If you page down, you can see page 2. If you page up, you'll see page 1 right here. And really, we're not going to get into the details on this. However, if we hit the button called Recall, which is right here, and we have the scene set to S1, zero out, board reset, that will put all the controls kind of back to a neutral default position. So we're going to do that. So just hit that, and now everything is set back to a default position. Now, I'm going to play music back. And before we had the song that I did in the first video, it'll be playing back. We won't hear anything yet. We're going to start with channel 1 and see if we can get input to output, and then I'll explain how it works. So first of all, now we have music coming through here. I want to hit select on channel 1. It does a number of things, but one of the things select does is it allows us to see the metering for this channel right up here in this corner where it says level. Any selected channel, this becomes the level meter for that channel. So with that done, I'm going to go to this channel where I've got basically my kick drum coming through. I'm going to start to turn up the mic line. And now I should be able to see it coming up on the meter. And you do, right here. If I turn it up too much, it goes orange and then red. But we really want that meter over here on this side of the board coming right about into the middle. And then that would mean the gain is properly set up. Now from there, the signal will come straight down to the fader. So if I turn this up, you would think I'd start to hear something. Well, I don't, because we have to turn up the front of house level, or the main fader over here. This is the overall output. This is what you're listening to when you start to hear sound, is we're connected to the main out on the back of the board. So first of all, I'm going to turn this back down and just turn this up. And now anything I start to mix in, we should be able to hear. And there you go. We've done input to output. You'll also see that the output meter starts to function as well as we start to get sound playing back through the board. So the main out is connected to our speakers, and what you're listening to is also the main out. Now, one thing to point out, if you didn't zero the board and you didn't hear anything doing this, is that there is a routing assignment. So as you come in here with the audio signal, to be able to send it over to the main out, we have to have this button right here engaged. This is the assignment. This assigns this channel over to the main out. It is possible to turn that off. And so if you're faced with a board and you turn it up and you turn this up, you're hearing nothing, you need to check right here to see if you're actually assigned to the main out. Now there are some other assignment definitions to some intermediate mix subgroups. I'm not going to even talk about that right now, but you'll see that those are possible as well. But for now, to get input to output, you have to have the mic line turned up enough to get a signal. You have to have this up a little bit and this up a little bit. And then to get the metering to work for that channel, you hit the select button. And with that, you've seen input to output on the Studio Live board. And we're going to cover more of the overview of this board in the next video. Thanks for watching.